Tim McCready's time has come. It was as if an alarm clock startled him from a sound sleep. He stormed through the Super Dirt Series, seizing 5 victories, rousing fear in the hearts of the chosen. Yet his breakout year has known heartache as well. His race team lost their main sponsor early. Tim risked a cherished friendship by depositing Tim Fuller into the concrete. For the first time, he encountered the fans' rejection. He watched his legendary father slip through another unfortunate year, while also being badly hurt at Brewerton. And now, Syracuse, a longtime McCready nemesis, crosses his path. His 2 previous disasters there this year cost him the points by which he trails Brett Hearn. Today, Tim McCready must dominate a racetrack that has crucified him to realize his legacy and be called champion. It's the Eckerd 200, and it's live on Rush Hour.
And we are live at the New York State Fairgrounds in Syracuse for Dirt Modified Racing's annual Spectacle of Speed, Super Dirt Week 30 and the Eckerd 200. It's been a challenging day weather-wise, but Dirt Motorsports President Glenn Donnelly and his entire crew have done a masterful job of getting this racetrack ready, and we are set to go racing. Joining me is longtime commentator for TNN and Speed Vision, Rick Benjamin. And Rick, being a race journalist, you must love the many storylines we have here today.
Well, you have to, and we've talked already about the weather being the major storyline here this weekend, but there are some great storylines among the teams, the 48 drivers, who'll do battle here shortly. Really, in dirt big block competition this year, there's been the starting, at least, of a changing of the guard. The veteran names you're used to hearing about, Brett Hearn, Jimmy Horton, Kenny Brightbill, Danny and Alan Johnson, all of those drivers are here, all of them past champions of this race. But for the first time in a long time, there are 4 young guns in the top 6 rows of the starting lineup today. 4 drivers who've made a lot of noise during the regular season, who've been very strong in qualifying here. Those drivers, in fact, 2 of them are on the front row. You've got Tim McCready and Tim Fuller lining up alongside each other. And the big question mark is, will they be able to pay it off over 200 miles of racing today?
This, of course, is a day legends are made. And for the driver with the heaviest foot and the greatest nerve, a defining career moment awaits in victory lane.
Rush Hour on Dirt is brought to you in part by Eckerd. Get more. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people. By Budweiser, the official beer of Dirt Motorsports. And by Sunoco A+, 24-hour convenience.
The engines roar to life here at Syracuse. A most unusual situation in that we do not have the cars gridded on the track. The first 6 cars now pulling out, and then they will come out single file and form their rows of 2 on the racetrack as we get set for the Eckerd 200 in the year 2001.
Very important race, of course, from a lot of standpoints at a time that's so crucial to the life of our nation. You see Steve Botcher in the 31, 5-time winner Brett Hearn bringing the Budweiser machine out on the racetrack. Hearn with a good starting spot here today. He will start toward the front of this show, and he's in great position to try to add. He'll be inside the 3rd row. Everyone else buckled in, ready to do battle with the sun starting to shine now.
My good friend Roy Spade gave me a call. He's celebrating his 90th birthday. Reminded us that 90 years ago, Ralph DePalma won New York State Fair Championship, or 100-lapper, averaging 67.4 miles per hour. This year, 2001, they're going twice as fast on the pole as Tim McCready. Wow.
Great speeds, of course, part of the recipe for success here at Syracuse.
You just saw Bob McCready?
Yeah. Frankie Cabrera there on the FX1, ready to come out and do battle as well. And a host of other drivers getting ready to get down to it. So they've rolled away. Doug Logan, a couple of hours ago, I wouldn't have given you 10 cents for our chances of seeing this afternoon.
And I'll tell you, once again, it's the vision and it's the wherewithal and the organization of Dirt Motorsports President Glenn Donnelly that makes this happen. It's just absolutely fantastic. And the fans, I'll tell you, once they got a whiff of an engine turning over, they're in the stands and ready to go. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the 2001 Eckerd 200. And on the pole, first time on the pole out of Watertown, New York, Tim McCready. And outside his great friend, the M1, Tim Fuller.
Second row, the Hurricane, Steve Payne, the defending Mr. Dirt champion, and Matt Shepard, his first time ever in a big block machine. There it is, the white 28 car.
On to row 3, and a 4-time Mr. Dirt champion, Brett Hearn. And outside, the winner of 2 of the last 3 Eckerd 200s, including last year's Billy Decker.
Fourth row, the 901 of Jimmy Horton out of New Jersey, a 2-time winner of this race. And Ronnie Johnson, his first ever start for the Sweeteners Plus team in the 39.
On to row 5, and what a show Richie Tobias Jr. gave us a couple days earlier, and Alan Johnson with the colors of the red, white, and blue.
In the 6th row, Jeff Trombley from Altamont, New York, the Fonda Speedway big block champion, and Andy Bicchetti nearly won yesterday's Sunoco A+ 150, ran out of fuel on the final lap.
On row 7, the 115 of our 1999 winner, Kenny Tremont, and outside, Jerry Higby in the number 74.
The 8th row, Eddie Marshall out of Pound Ridge, New York, the Marshall Oil Machine, former Labor Day winner here at Syracuse. A.J. Romano in a Tio Pro car, that's the 29.
Ron Smoker is in the 62R. He's 9th row inside, and outside, the 114 of a Pennsylvania small block star, Craig Van Doren.
10th row is Doug Hoffman from Pennsylvania, won this race 5 years ago. And the 27J in his own car, Danny Johnson, the 97 champion.
On to row 11 is Jeff Strunk and Wade Hendrickson.
12th row, Steve Poirier from Quebec, and Vic Coffey, Super Dirt Series regular from Leicester, New York, in that 32, which is the Sweeteners Plus car.
Row 13, the number 20 of Matt Quinn, and outside from Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania, it's veteran Kenny Brightbill, who won this event in '88.
14th row, Steve Botcher from Lehighton, New Jersey. He's a Bridgeport Speedway regular, and Butch Tittle in the Z car out of Pennsylvania.
Row 15, Gary Tompkins and Barefoot Bob McCready, who took home the checkered flag in '86.
16th row, Frankie Caprera, the FX1. Mike Parati from Elizabethtown, New York, former Frogtown Speedway champion.
As the cars move down the back straightaway, it's Tim Dwyer and Dave Axton in row 17.
The 18th row, Jimmy Chester in the 44, Brian Weaver in the 9R.
Jimmy Phelps and Robert Ranger make up row number 19.
And Pat Ward from Genio, New York in the 42P, Dave Murdoch in the 61.
There's row 21, and it's Chuck Bauer and Tom Sears Jr.
22nd row, Pete Bicknell, 5-time 358 champion here, and Jumpin' Jack Johnson in the 20.
Yes, there is a row 23 for the richest race on dirt. Bobby Barron makes it up along with Chris Schultz, who qualified in that Sterling Trucks of Syracuse shootout.
And the final 2 transfer spots from the shootout, Billy Whitaker's 1W, Dave Camara from Vermont in the 26.
And the starting field is on the Moody Mile, the 1 mile New York State Fairgrounds. And we are getting set to go racing. It's really exciting, and you can feel the electricity.
Sure can't feel it. The fans on their feet getting ready to go racing today, something we didn't think we'd see just a short time ago. Well, Doug, who do you like today? You've seen a bunch of these.
Well, you know, I always told my son never, ever, ever bet against Brett Hearn. But you know what? He's won 2 out of the last 3 years. I'm going to go with the number 91 of Billy Decker. How about you?
I like Jimmy Horton in this one. Hearn is certainly a guy to watch, but Horton starts toward the front today from New Jersey. He's won this race before. He's run a lot of long races. Certainly knows what you need to do here.
Mark Kenyon, who's your pick?
Aside from the fact that he's one of my best friends, I think he's one of the smartest drivers here. He knows how to win this race. He's done it before, and I think he'll do it again today.
Andy Fusco? Who did Andy Fusco pick? We'll get his pick a little bit later as the cars roar down the front straightaway. The green flag is out, and the Eckerd 200 is on. Smoothly into turn 1. Through turn 2 go our leaders, and down the back straightaway it is Tim McCready, our pole sitter, who leads the Eckerd 200.
And he jumps out to a substantial lead down the backstretch. Fuller falls into second. Payne moves to third in the 7X. Craig Van Doren on the outside down into 3 there, trying to gain some ground. There you see Decker in the 91, Andy Bicchetti's 4 car out to complete lap number 1. There's Hearn. And McCready has just opened up 10 car lengths on the field.
Lap number 1 of 200 in the books here at the New York State Fairgrounds. Tim McCready is your leader, and everybody is on the throttle.
There's Payne in that yellow machine. Hearn is next in line in 4th. There's the 28 car, Matt Shepard. He's settled back into 6th. Alan Johnson back there. in the 1 car. The 35 machine making a move, trying to get up toward the front. He's got Johnson all over him. Richie Tobias from Annville, Pennsylvania in that red 35.
Well, as you mentioned, Tim McCready is way out in front. What a pace he is setting.
Well, we've seen this before from McCready this season, Doug, on our 2 earlier telecasts.
Battle for position, as you saw Brett Hearn try to look inside. Steve Payne couldn't get the job done in turns 1 and 2, and now they're single file down the back straightaway.
Everyone's settling in now. You know you're going to probably need 2 pit stops. There may be a few teams here today who will try to run this race on 1 stop. We don't examine. Look at this, Bob McCready heading behind the wall already in the 9 car. Wow.
We'll try to get some information on Bob McCready, who is already in the pits. We are 3 laps in. Meanwhile, there is his son, Tim McCready, who's so quick to praise his own father, along with Billy Decker, for helping him get that race set up and tackle this Moody Mile.
Barefoot Bob won a major 358 series race at Brewerton just a couple of nights ago, but his luck in the big blocks just has not been good at all. He blew an engine earlier this week. They repaired it, but obviously more mechanical problems. Syracuse frame number 9.
And of course, Bob McCready has battled some health problems the last couple of years, and well, he's apparently retired for the day. Brett Hearn, the number 3, trying to gain some ground on Steve Payne, can't quite get it done.
Payne with a brand new machine here this week, a TO Pro car, one of Bobby Hearn's creations. Brett in the 3 right behind him, the red machine there sitting 4th. This is a big track car for the Hearn team. It's a car they've run here the last 3 years and only here at Syracuse, with a motor that's got nearly 700 miles of racing here at Syracuse on it. They freshened the engine this week. Tony File putting this motor together for Brett's team and saying, hey, it's ready to go and do battle here today for 200 miles.
This is the closest battle for position. We're looking at 2nd, 3rd, and 4th with Fuller, Payne, and Hearn, then followed by Billy Decker. The leader has opened up quite a margin. Tim McCready blowing away the field in the early going. We're 5 laps in.
3.1 seconds the lead last time by. Hearn all over Payne for 3rd spot, looking inside the 7X now. McCready's problem here has not been that he hasn't been fast enough in the past, Doug. It's been that he hasn't been able to make the car live. Billy Decker slowing down the front straightaway in the 91. We'll try to get a look at that machine, see what the problem might be. There's Tim Fuller. You're watching 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. McCready, Tim, is down the backstretch with a big lead.
It looks like Decker is back up to speed down the back straightaway. He might have just lost a little bit of traction, and you can lose some track position very quickly. There's a look at Danny Johnson in the number 27.
Danny with the American flag colors, most appropriate on a day like this when the United States launched its retaliatory strikes against Afghanistan just a couple of hours ago. A couple of the teams deciding to go all red, white, and blue with their paint schemes. And this is Danny's own car, a Troyer House car. Billy Colton put it together for him after Danny split from the Sweeteners Plus team that he'd had so much success with just a couple of weeks ago. Really, they decided to part ways. Danny won 23 of 50 358 series events with that team this year, but they hadn't won a race really since mid-August, and it was kind of a mutual parting of the ways. Danny said, hey, I'll put my own program together, see if we can have success here during Super Dirt Week.
Our leaders, Danny Johnson currently running 18th. Our leaders advantage is shrinking. There's a look at the Budweiser number 3 of Brett Hearn. In front of him, the Hurricane Steve Payne.
A little further back, there's Richie Tobias in the 35 behind Jimmy Horton as they battle for 7th and 8th spot. Oh, and contact. Hearn in trouble on the backstretch. He tried to get around Steve Payne and clipped Payne, goes around into the wall. Hearn is against the wall in turn 3. Damage to that race car, and we expect to see the caution. The caution is being displayed for the first time here in the Eckerd 200. What a tough break for Hearn.
So the 5-time winner of this event, the corporate jet Brett Hearn, looks like he needs a hook. A major development early in this race. We're 25 laps in. This is the Eckerd 200, and we are live on Rush Hour.
Rush Hour, Super Dirt Week.
Now, things certainly have settled down on the racetrack right now, and so the wheels have to be turning. How long do you stay out? $10,000 at lap 100. You know, all these things roll into the race strategy. Of course, it looks like that the dominant car right now is that one. of Tim McCready.
No doubt about it. I mean, McCready has been putting a hurt on the rest of the field since we went green here about an hour ago, and he has just done a marvelous job. He's kept his nose clean, stayed out of trouble. Could have had a big moment on the backstretch, the incident that took Brett Hearn out. McCready was first to the moisture on the track. He was able to get through it and warn everybody else with a wave of his arm, and he's been perfect on all the restarts. Steve Payne hasn't been able to put any real pressure on him. When Tim Fuller was running up there alongside or close to it, Fuller had nothing from McCready. So right now, Tim McCready certainly indicated already.
Let's hear Tim McCready now if we can.
Okay, I see what's happening. We're coming in, all right? 2 tires and gas. Get the cans. 10-4. What lap is it?
Coming up on
89, Tim. Lap 89.
Here's the conversation with Tim McCready.
Gonna go this on 1 stop, you think? Yeah, I do, but I think he's just going with fuel. I don't think he's gonna take tires at all. So he's going 1 stop then. We're gonna have to change it. Look at, if they're not taking tires, we're not taking tires. 1 stop, all right? 1 stop. Make sure you get all the fuel in it. 10-4. If we have to rechange things later, then we have to change things later, all right? 10-4. They're not taking tires? No tires, just fuel. Okay, we know what to do. We're coming in. We're coming in. We're ready for you. Come on, baby.
How about the high anxiety here at the New York State Fairgrounds? Mark Kenyon is in the Tim McCready pits.
Down in the pits, McCready flies in and overshoots the pit. Tim McCready overshot the pit. His crew runs down. They're going to take fuel only, the same as Payne. They were watching Payne's crew to see what he was going to do, and they decided at the last minute, fuel only. Looks like 2 cans. Down to Andy.
Down here in the Steve Payne pit, they're banging on the car to be able to get fuel in there. It looks like the filler hose is working and the Payne is able to take fuel. They're not changing any tires. 2 cans and they're away.
Decker is out. Payne is out. Now McCready out. 1, 2, and 3 among the race leaders.
McCready, though, did not get off pit road with the lead. Decker comes off pit road with the lead, and that could be big. Now we'll have to see how McCready reacts to having to come from behind. He's had the dominant car. We're 10 laps short of halfway here at the Moody Mile. But now Decker, last year's champion, is out in front.
This is the Eckerd 200, and we are live on Rush Hour.
Rush Hour Super Dirt Week.
Bicknell, Frankie Cabrera next in line. Richie Tobias has cycled up to the lead. And Robert Ranger is next in line in the PR2. Matt Quinn, Kenny Tremont, Tom Sears, Bobby Barron, Gary
And we have
Duncan.
a blow-up, an engine blow-up. Is that Tim McCready?
1 car in big trouble, and it is. The 56 of McCready, we believe. So there you go. The pole sitter, the driver who dominated most of the first half today. Attrition rears its ugly head. They did not have a car capable of going the distance. And caution is back here on the Moody Mile.
How suddenly and dramatically things change. There is your pole sitter and race leader all afternoon, Tim McCready.
So just like that, McCready dominates the first 90 trips.
Smoking? No, I don't see any smoke, Tim.
That's because all the oil's gone out of the engine already. 2 laps short of halfway. There is a $10,000 bonus for leading this show at halfway. And Bicknell was denied the big check yesterday. You know he'd love to pick up the money here today.
And for the first time in a long time, we have competition at the front of the pack.
Sure do. A lot of pressure. Cabrera exerting heavy pressure now on your leader Bicknell, and back behind him a battle for third taking shape. Richie Tobias sits in third spot. Bobby Barron up to fourth in the 78 car, and moisture starting to show again on our camera lens down there in turn 1.
Let us tell you as they come around for what should be lap number 100 that no driver has ever led lap 100 collecting that $10,000 and gone on to win the race.
Budweiser posting that halfway leader bonus here this weekend. Their driver, Brett Hearn, one of the very first out. 1 lap till halfway.
We lost one 19-year-old racing sensation here to attrition, Matt Shepard. We have another one currently running second. That's Frankie Caprara, 19 years of age.
Made the climb quickly from sportsman competition to the 358s and now to the big blocks.
Here's the Budweiser 10,000 going to Pete Bicknell on lap 100, your race leader, and we're halfway home and we have ourselves an official race.
Yes, we do. So Bicknell pockets the nice check at halfway. One car way, a couple of cars way high up at turns 1 and 2.
Gary Tompkins, one of them. And
caution is waving on the speedway.
He slows on the track. He's in turn 2 now, coming down the back straightaway in a car in the wall.
The 98, is that it? No, that's not Eddie Marshall's 98 car. That's a different 98 car. That's Dave Axton from Port Byron, New York.
We ought to talk some pit strategy here with Andy and with Mark, because they talked about you could pit up until about lap 100, but you don't want to pit much after 100 because you're going to lose track position. So I wonder, as we check in with Mark Kenyon and Andy Fusco, what their thoughts are on the Billy Deckers of the world coming into the pits as soon as possible. We're at lap 101.
Well, it's quiet down here in the Decker pit. It doesn't look like they're getting ready to stop, but I got Scott right here. He's talking to Billy. I'll let him finish. The window is between 93, I believe, and lap 107, but I'll tell you what, I think these guys down here in the Decker pit know something. It could go 110. Scott, when are you going to stop, you think?
We're done. We're out there to race the rest.
110 laps, that would be?
Oh, yeah.
So there it is. You got it from the horse's mouth. 110 laps. Decker's going to try to go from here. Andy?
Okay, I'm down here in the Steve Payne pit. They are poised to bring in their driver. Here it comes, boys.
Pete Bicknell
Payne brings the 7X to a stop. They check the right rear. Fuel goes in the left rear. They've got it full, and they send him away. That was a quick stop.
Wow.
They're set to go the rest of the distance as well.
This is the Eckerd 200, and we are live on Rush Hour.
Rush Hour Super Dirt Week.
Couple of car length lead over Danny Johnson, who may not have enough fuel to go all the way. Bright Bill is third in the 19, trying to sneak inside. Tremont is next in line, and there is Bicknell, fifth in the running order, maybe with the fastest race car of all right now.
And they mentioned that the Danny Johnson crew mentioned that he was trying to conserve some fuel, but he's running with Decker pretty much.
Bicknell to the inside, gets by Tremont for fourth spot. So
wow. Look at this!
Oh, and a great move out of two. Bicknell raises the left front wheel and goes inside Bright Bill. Oh, that 1B is a rocket ship.
Oh my goodness! Put the videotape of that move in a time capsule.
That was an outside-in pass of two cars by Pete Bicknell from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And he is now third.
Boy, right on the back of Danny Johnson. He's going to get Danny!
Easily going by DJ for second spot. So Bicknell definitely on the button. Quickest car by far, running laps in the 31s. The only driver able to do that with 56 miles to go here at Syracuse. Now, we have seen contender after contender break here this afternoon, and some smoke starting to pour off the right rear tire. So Pete wants to be careful and not run the rubber off that race car.
Look at this. We have a battle for the lead here in the Eckerd 200. Pete Bicknell is absolutely flying. Last lap, Billy Decker went 112.4. Pete Bicknell 114.5.
We got a 4 lead, Bicknell, 4 lead.
We're listening to Decker's radio traffic.
Let's go down to Andy Fusco.
Pete Bicknell just got this ride last night, as we heard, but that's not the first time today. It's not the first time that he's ever driven the car. Last year, this was Gary Ballou's car. Gary Ballou was complaining about how it handled in Super Dirt Week. Bicknell went out in a hot lap session, came in and said, this car is perfect. I don't know what the guy's talking about.
Looks perfect.
And that is a Bicknell chassis race car, so he certainly ought to know what they've got, how to make it work.
And is Pete Bicknell going to be able to drive Billy Decker into race fuel oblivion?
I was just about to raise that question. If you noticed on the last couple of tours around the Moody Mile, Decker started to pull away. He must have realized Bicknell was quicker and he had to get on the button. But remember, as we watched Bicknell here a few moments ago make those incredible moves to get up to second spot, here he is inside Brightville. Look at him pick the left front wheel up as he carries it through turn 2. The problem for Decker is going to be if he's got to pick up the pace to stay out in front, does he burn up too much fuel? He was very much on the edge of having enough fuel to go all the way.
Another question might be, under the circumstances, is Bicknell putting a little too much pressure on his tires right now?
Well,
will we actually see some tire wear?
We may indeed. And it's been a very good racetrack here with all the rain we've had, all the moisture, and the cool weather. It's not notoriously tough on tires in that situation, but we saw smoke pour off the right rear. Bicknell, as hard as he has been on the gas the last 10 laps, he's got to be using some rubber up on that machine and that tire.
Well, let's see what the latest is on Billy Decker, our race leader, as we check in with Mark Kenyon.
We're down here with Scott Jeffries, Billy Decker's crew chief. Scott, you put your cards on the table. You can't let Bicknell by. Is this going to affect your fuel strategy? Is he going to have to use more fuel to stay in front?
Well, we picked up the pace a little bit, but he's still saving some of our fuel and our tire. We should be in good shape as long as Bicknell doesn't pressure us much more.
By pressure, what do you mean? You worried about him jamming down the inside?
Well, Bicknell's running the car pretty hard. I don't know when he pitted for sure, but if he's trying to go any kind of distance, he's not going to make it anyway.
102. He came in on 102. Are you still confident in your 110 lap call?
Oh, yeah, we gotta be.
These guys are going all the way. They got their cards on the table and they're not blinking.
Nobody's dealing another hand, it appears.
No choice now. Wow.
2 leaders have pulled away. Danny Johnson is third, but he's a couple of seconds back. This is the battle for the lead now, coming up on 50 laps to go. Oh, trouble. One of the cars into the wall. It's Richie Tobias' 35 car. Hard shot into the wall. Coming off one of the corners here. Believe that's out of 2. And that will no doubt bring out a caution.
Trying to
looks like it should be at the head of the backstretch, but I don't see the car other than on television.
On this massive racetrack here, the Moody Mile. He's over by 3. Yeah, this is coming off the back straightaway. Watch this now. Looking for a pass on Varon.
Contact perhaps.
Here it is.
Yep, they rub.
Varon is able to hang on to that machine. Nope.
Goes up in the air. He controls the car, but Richie Tobias had nowhere to go. Hard into the concrete. Safety crews over there.
That is a big time impact.
Now Richie Tobias qualified up front, ran up front much of the day here, so he has cost himself perhaps a very, very good finish.
This is Varon's car in the pits. Look at that damage. How did he hang on to that car?
Unbelievable.
We have 33 laps to go in the Eckerd 200. Back with more from the Moody Mile at the New York State Fairgrounds on Rush Hour.
Rush Hour. Super Dirt Week.
It's 15. It's Decker. It's Bicknell. It's Johnson. It's Brightville. And Decker looks smooth once again on the restart.
4 lanes, 4.
Spotters talking to Decker, telling him how big the advantage is over Bicknell with 14 miles to go.
And to answer a question that I posed, yes, Decker and Bicknell have checked out once again from Danny Johnson.
3, 5 lanes, 5.
Pulling away down the backstretch, but the leader is Decker comfortably.
He's really working that right rear. If you feel comfortable and we got the gas like we're saying we do, let's just keep running. 15 to go.
If we have the gas like we're saying we do.
5 lead, 5.
I've got to think that Decker has used a lot more fuel than he would have wanted to, holding off the challenge of Bicknell. Pete slides that 1B. Now, that's not what you want to do here.
Boy, this is exciting.
5 lead, 5.
Two lead cars making their way through the corners here to the front straightaway.
You know, we had the scanner on Billy Decker. We had the scanner on Pete Bicknell. This the interaction, you know, to the driver is exemplary with the Billy Decker crew.
Well, they've been here before. You know, they've been in this situation. They won the race a year ago. They know what it takes.
Six, please, six.
When you have a team that's worked together a long time, it's such a big benefit.
The big question, is this all a pipe dream? Going 110 laps on a tank of fuel.
Remember yesterday, if you were with us for the Sunoco A+ 150.
Run hard, Billy, run hard, doing a good job.
We had a green-white checkered finish, a late caution. The race went 2 extra laps, and Andy Buchetti lost it with half a lap to go when he ran out of fuel.
Hey, Rick, Bicknell doesn't have it for him right now.
No, he definitely doesn't. He doesn't have enough race car left to challenge Decker. And Bicknell would love to be putting pressure on Decker, more pressure, because that would cause Decker to use more fuel.
And we're still, you know, cautiously saying, look at Decker, look at Bicknell, but you better look back a few more car lengths and see Danny Johnson, who is truly in a catbird seat.
11 to go, 11. 5 lead, 5.
We're coming up on 100 laps since his last pit stop for Billy Decker.
Last year he went more than 100 to win. Yesterday, though, in a small block race, the only driver to go more than 110 was Bud Christie. Bicknell is in trouble.
Bicknell's coming in. They're saying gas. Let's go down to Andy Fusco.
Okay, I'm down here in the Bicknell pit. Indeed, it is gas. They get one can in. It's the gas and go, and he stalls the car. The 1B is stalled. Now the crew is pushing the car. A terrible turn of events for Pete Bicknell. Mark, down to your end.
We're down here in the Decker pit. Scott, Pete Bicknell just ran out of gas earlier. They had said they didn't know how far they could go on fuel. Are you still confident? How do you feel with 110? Were you just concerned?
Yeah, I think we can still make it. It's going to be close, but we'll just have to wait and see. Billy's going to try saving as much fuel as he can right now, and we'll just have to ride it out.
That guy behind you is not known for being finesse. Are you worried about Danny Johnson?
No, because I know he's trying to save fuel too, so he's not going to push us any too much. We'll just ride around, see if he catches us, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Billy Decker trying to become the champion here at the Eckerd 200, and also he'll get the nickname Mr. MPG.
Eight laps to go.
Bicknell went a lap down with that unscheduled green flag stop for a splash of gas.
Okay, Danny Johnson, some laps ago, held off Kenny Brightbill.
Yep.
And that battle for position has put Danny Johnson in an excellent spot, running number 2 against Billy Decker, who has a sizable lead. Don't expect to see Danny Johnson on the back bumper of Billy Decker anytime soon today.
Danny Johnson started 20th today. He's come to second.
And the yellow is out. Is it raining?
Let's see what the situation is. I see the safety car.
Car stopped. Schultz stopped on the back straightaway.
Chris Schultz, who won the consolation earlier today in the Sterling Truck Shootout, the non-qualifiers race to make the show for the Eckerd 200.
My goodness.
Stopped on the racetrack.
And we are going to have about a 5-lap shootout.
Looks like it. 193 complete. They'll come around and score lap 194 this time by. Decker comes over the stripe. So there are 6 to go. You cannot end this race under caution. We have a green-white checkered rule in dirt motorsports.
Might be a 4-lap shootout.
Could be. This will allow Danny Johnson a shot at Decker. He will close up on the back deck lid of the 91 car for the restart.
Okay, let's find out what Danny Johnson's pit crew has in mind. Down to Andy Fusco.
I'm here with Jim Herbst. He's the crew chief of the 27J. What's the story?
Oh, hopefully we got enough gas to make it to the end. It's going to be close.
What about Billy Decker? How does he get mileage and no one
Danny Johnson is out of fuel.
Oh boy, and I know there's contact out there.
Danny Johnson is out of fuel, and there's a massive pileup. Oh my goodness gracious. How many cars?
The track is blocked. About 10 cars up in turn 3. And caution back on the speedway. Vic Coffey is involved. The 98 car is involved. Danny Johnson's touched that off by running out of fuel. The 27J is stacked up over there. We see a host of other cars. Danny crawling out. He was running second. The 61 car. Dave Murdoch from Pennsylvania involved in that wreck. Looks like Butch Tittle's car is over there. Dave Axton.
We could be in a situation where we go extra laps now.
Certainly could. I wouldn't be surprised to see a red flag thrown. Eddie Marshall is over there. That's the white 98 car. Eddie was running in the top 5. Now there is a pathway through. Track officials have been able to clear a path for the cars to go through. But we most likely will have extra laps. Unbelievable turn of events. We'll get back to pit road in a moment here. But just as the green flag was coming back out, Danny Johnson ran out of fuel evidently, dropped to the bottom, and got plowed into by a couple of other race cars. And that touched off a huge skirmish over in turn 3.
When did Kenny Brightbill pit last? Was that about the same time? Lap 90. Same with Danny Johnson, same with Billy Decker.
So those cars at the head of the pack trying to go 110 miles. They may have to go a couple of more. This could end up in Kenny Tremont or Doug Hoffman's or Ron Smoker's lap before we're all done. And how about Steve Payne? Don't overlook Payne. He is sitting 6th right now, and Payne, I believe, stopped well after halfway. So he should not have a fuel issue.
Well, take anything you had in your hands and throw it up in the air.
And if you're Danny Johnson, we documented at the top of the broadcast. Let's take a look.
Down low, there's Danny.
Johnson's white car there, out of gas, slowing down. Here's how it starts.
Whammo.
The 28 car trying to get around Danny Johnson's car, Steve Poirier from Quebec. And there was another car outside of him, Coffey involved there in the 32. There you see Eddie Marshall. I believe that was Eddie Marshall that could not get around Poirier and went up over his wheel in the white 98 car out of Pound Ridge, New York.
More contact coming. Look out.
And a big stack up to the inside as well. That was the car of Dave Murdoch, the Western Pennsylvania standout of the 61, the red car there. So you've got 8 or 9 cars just turning turn 3 into a junkyard. Late in the going here in the Eckerd 200. 4 laps to go, but remember, we cannot finish under caution. Danny Johnson struggling to get out, or rather Vic Coffey, I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
He is sore.
They're going to red flag. They're going to red flag the race.
The fans don't like it a bit. The red flag waves and the fans are booing here at the New York State Fairgrounds.
We are live at the New York State Fairgrounds, Super Dirt Week 30 in the Eckerd 200. And we have a shootout to the checkered flag. The green flag is out and Billy Decker is the lead.
Smoke boiling, dirt and dust boiling.
Come on now, come on around.
Race cars.
4 lead.
Decker down the front straightaway takes the green flag. Next time around will be white and then the checkers. Who has enough fuel to last?
Roll out of it. We don't know what to expect down there now. Don't lose that nose.
Doug Hoffman is slowing.
Don't overcharge it. We're good. We are good.
Doug Hoffman may be out of fuel down the back straightaway.
Hoffman to the inside. That's the white car, the white nose you see there. He's going up and opposite.
Hoffman ran out of gas, but he got
Billy Decker continues to lead. Kenny Tremont Jr. is second. Ron Smoker now third, and Doug Hoffman is falling back.
Pat Ward all crippled up. Down
1 lap to go.
Billy Decker less than a mile away from back-to-back wins in the Eckerd 200. That's Pat Ward's wounded car on the inside.
All right, you're clear, so is he.
Decker still running strong down the back straightaway. Second place, Kenny Tremont. He's ready if Decker should falter. Decker in turn 3. He's won this race 2 of the last 3 years. Can he make it 3 out of 4? Out of turn 4 comes Billy Decker. The Franklin Flyer down the front straightaway. And Billy Decker is the winner of the Eckerd 200.
Tremont grabs second. Smoker, Alan Johnson, and Matt Quinn, the top 5 here at Syracuse.
Billy Decker has won. He has won the Eckerd 200. We'll be back right after this on Rush Hour.
Rush Hour, Super Dirt Week.
Rush Hour on Dirt is brought to you in part by Eckerd, get more. By Suzuki, the official motorcycle and ATV supplier of Dirt Motorsports. And by Hoosier Performance Tires, tires designed for champions.
Doug Logan along with Rick Benjamin. The winner of the Eckerd 200 is Billy Decker, and we're going down to Victory Lane now in Mark Kenyon.
We're down here in Victory Lane. Billy Decker's still sitting in the car. Let me try to muscle my way in here somewhere. Everybody's snapping pictures and congratulating him. Billy Decker. Billy, you had them talking to themselves last year. What are they going to do this year?
Well, I don't really care what they're doing. I know what I'm doing, and we're winning races. And this Ross Motorsports team really done a heck of a job. Again, I can't thank Randy Ross enough, and you know, all my guys did a great job.
You went at least 112 laps. Were you worried when Pete Bicknell was pushing you? He was really giving you all you wanted.
Well, that wasn't very much fun for us. You know, we had a good spot there and was cruising pretty good. And then Pete come along and made us turn up the wick a little bit, and I had to run that harder than I really wanted to run. Before the race, I asked my car owner's brother, who does our gas, David, and I asked him how far we can go, and he said, you can go 112 safely, you know, and that's just what we're at. But then Pete got there and got the pressure on us, so had to turn the wick up a little bit.
How worried were you at the end there with running around under yellow before that red? Were you glad to see that red come out?
Yeah, it certainly was, and more so for the debris on the track and stuff. I didn't want to run over anything over in turn 3 and 4.
You won the Eckerd 200, Billy. Where are you going?
I'm going to Eckerd's in Baldwinsville.
There he is, Billy Decker.
What a run.
Here he comes.
How about Billy Decker winning this race 3 of the last 4 years?
Very impressive. You know, we thought Pete Bicknell had the race going his way, had the fastest car, pressured Decker incredibly. Decker was able to hold off the challenge and nurse that car home.
Finishing second place, Kenny Tremont Jr., and he's standing by with Andy Fusco.
A somber Kenny Tremont. This is kind of a nice finish to a rough year.
It sure is. You know, we really had a tough year, but real thankful. Everything worked out great today. I wish we could have run a little quicker all week, but we were probably, you know, a top 10 car. We weren't a winner, but, you know, maybe next year we can come back with something a little bit quicker and, you know, give Billy a little bit of a run.
Sometimes it pays to be lucky as opposed to be good. I guess that can kind of be said for you to come out of this one with a second place finish.
Yeah, it sure is. I mean, I think if everybody stayed in there, we'd have probably been in the later part of the top 10. But, you know, I've run second and led races here and dropped out because we ran out of gas. So, you know, you lose some, you win some. So today it worked out, and we were able to have luck on our side, and we'll take it for the times that we ran out.
Back up to you guys to the tower.
Unofficially, it's Billy Decker, your race leader, then Kenny Tremont second, Ron Smoker third, Alan Johnson fourth, and Matt Quinn fifth. The rest of the top 10?
Top 10 looks like Kenny Brightbill in sixth, then Payne, Pete Bicknell, Dave Burdick, even though he was in that late crash, ninth. And Doug Hoffman ran out of fuel but gets credit for 10th spot.
Thanks to Tom Skabinski and Kevin Kovac. For Rick Benjamin, Mark Kenyon, and the entire Rush Hour and Dirt crew, including Andy Fusco, Doug Logan saying thank you for joining us, and so long for now.